What is up, everybody? Hello, gamers. We are going to build my first small form factor build today, and I have no guarantees or promises how this is going to go. All I will say is I'm still waiting for an LGA 1700 adapter kit because EK, in their infinite wisdom, after Intel has been out with this form factor for over a year, still doesn't include it in the box. And I have to wait for it to ship all the way from Croatia. So, there are pros and cons here. The pro is that, we can't do the whole. No, there are no pros. The con is that we can do everything but that. But at least we can test out everything else and make sure fit and finish looks good. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I've already disassembled the side panels. For those of you watching on Twitch, I will have videos coming out on that later. It wasn't a really intense video at all, just making sure the graphics card fit. So what we're going to do today, though, is go ahead and remove the remaining pieces. This is the power supply cage. This will work. We're just going to go ahead and set that on top of the power supply. Get everything else ready. This is an Elite manufacturer. Now these should be 25 millimeter thick fans. We're just going to use this to compare here. And I do have alternative colors for these. I just don't care. It's not worth my time, etc., etc. And we can flip these over to the other side if that's where we decide to put them. You see here, these are the same thickness. We're going with the Noctua fans, as they have a significantly better thermal and noise performance. Now I do want this all over to one side as much as we can get it. What the heck? Oh, I just haven't seated this one yet at all. How did that not fit? So I actually want to make sure this is in the right one here. I want this all the way to one side because if you will recollect, the power plug right here was interfering with the rad. So we want to get this slotted as far over as possible. There you go. There we go. All right, yep, so that's a trick. Just tuck those in where you want them on the fans. Let's make sure it is like the exact fitment underneath. That's incredible how much stuff they pack in here. RAM and GPUs. Crunch. The heat spreaders are not too large on these. So although I'm had Corsair Dominators for my other one, Buildzoid did an excellent video describing the different SK Hynix versus Samsung dies and how just don't care for Corsair is just not as picky as G-Scale apparently, and they're charging way more money for it. So although I do like the IQ integration, I don't need it for this build. So I went with the better bang for the buck. They only make RGB for these ones, so if they made an RGB-less version for a little bit cheaper, then I would have done that, but that's not in the cards. I do love these quick connects. These are so nice. Not in. You gotta actually seat it in that controller. This is pretty rad. I'm not gonna lie. This is pretty. One of the cooler builds I've ever done out of the 4 that I've done. Going anywhere, I guess. Oh. Oh. Why not? There might be some heat dissipation that comes off of that. Non-zero. I mean, I don't really care. You're not going to see the inside of this. Hopefully, for many moons. Triangle on bottom left. It's like, oh, I'm not smashing a $400 item into this thing. I don't know. Now, you could change out the heatsink here if you want to. I know some people are into that lately. There's like $10 fixes to get better thermal pressure. You can also de-lid your processor and put a new lid on it. They're all choices that you can make. Okay. So that will go in before the power supply does. Let's just go ahead and get the power supply going here. All right. So, made some mistakes. We might not have a choice with the fan placement. This is why we tested everything. I can't slot the power supply in because the tubes are in the way. We can't slide it over in either direction. So, and I can't get this in any other way. Like, it has to go in right here, just like that. Can't like flip it around because it only goes one direction. So, looks like we're a little SOL for the fans the way that I wanted them to avoid fan issues. Again. Oh. Properly slotted. So you should be able to shove these pipes up a little further now. The fans will just stay. It's just the top mounts that we would have to worry about. Yeah, you gotta like hoist it up in there. It requires some pressure. So you cannot use these additional connectors. To see how it has two, it has to be hardwired into yours. But I can just bundle it up like this, and this should all still it all still fit. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It's gonna be a pain. Like, let's not kid ourselves. And disentangling everything and putting it all in the right spot is going to be a nightmare. But it's doable. Oh, I wouldn't wish this on like my worst enemy. This is miserable. Like handy finger grips. Like, I wish you would have just made them like freaking bolts. They were bolts, then like I could reach them. Once again, gotta take out the RAM. Every time, all the manuals are like, put your RAM in first, because that's like what you always do until you're building a small form factor PC, and that's not a possibility. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get in here with pliers or anything. I mean, it's on, so bing bada boom. Okay, now we can put the RAM back in. Just make sure the other ones are as tight as I can get them. I can't tighten that top right one, like at all. Satisfying RAM crunch. Okay, it's gotta go in like this. Oh shoot. We probably want to like plug everything in here first. I wasn't thinking this would be necessary, but this will make it a little bit easier to manage the cables. Especially the PCIe cables with the splitter / adapter. Oh, there's one in the middle. Like, what the heck is going on? All right, this isn't bad at all. It's like it comes out of the bottom, so you pull it up and then slot it in. That's a great design. All right, snapped in. Oh, jingling. Just barely. Make sure you have a super narrow shafted screwdriver or you're never getting in there. Try to like just push it down, I guess. I'm just purely worried about like how the hell do I get this to sit in there? It didn't come with enough PCIe cables, so I had to take this one. And all of these have like an extra end on them, which is annoying and I don't want. And the nice thing is that this points down, so if I get my cable mod cables in the next year, then I can just go ahead and port the power cable to stay in place. Oh man, we're gonna see if that causes issues for the GPU in just a moment. This one, ironically, I don't really want to do because this needs to be like, the Z height on that is going to be very, very close, like disturbingly close. But we're in on this side. Everything is in and connected. So before I plug in the GPU, I kind of want to know if this posts. It's the part where I'm like, I did turn on that power supply, right? It's a 0 RPM power supply, so come on. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, I was like, don't you do this to me. All right, we haven't thermal tested, so who knows, how well everything works. First hurdle cleared. Now, for anybody asking, hey, look, you have the additional connectors here. Why don't you just plug those in? You cannot with the 4090. You do not get sufficient power that way. So it is not an option. Now, I tested this card out once before I installed anything else in this board. And when I say it barely fits, I mean without a single millimeter to spare. I mean barely. And I'm now concerned that that barely won't be able to make it past these tubes. Damn it! Even if I like push down on them to like smush that in. Oh, this turns from like fun to nightmare. Okay, I'm gonna unscrew this. I'm gonna leave all the other cables in. Like, just overwhelmed, superbly stressed. Those are maybe better descriptions. 24 pin's gotta come out, it's just in the way. Oh, let's just detach that. Oh no, that's fine. I mean, this isn't great, but it's not hurting anything. Now it's gotta come out because it's on top of the AIO. Luckily we routed these other cables underneath, so that'll be fine. Yeah, I just like, it won't actually go in because these are in the way, which does create a conundrum. Like, can I ever get this card past here? Once I get that past, then we can. All right, I can't have that having any pressure on it, so I kind of like need this in position. Get all of you out of here. I think we just need to do this in a backwards way from how it suggests. Which at once feels like a good idea and a terrible, no good, very bad idea. All at the same time. Just like caught on something. It just fits in like in every direction, just so. Not like by a little bit, by the smallest freaking amount that you've ever seen in a... Okay, I can actually access the power connector fairly easily under here. So I'll still plug that in first and then plug everything else into it. But I'm not going to deal with that now. The only thing I am going to do while I'm here is screw it in. It fit, like it is. It honestly looks like it doesn't fit. That's how close. The nice thing about this is I'm not super worried about it like slouching over or falling down. The tension in this direction is much better than it is the other direction. So it's not going to slough off. And even if it did, it wouldn't hamper the cooling capacity much. And it would never dip that much anyway. So we might have to be remounting a power supply. Power supply is going to be fine. We might have to be remounting an AIO. We will find out momentarily. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, come on. It just won't. It won't do it. It's smashed. It's like compressed in there. This sucks. Didn't we have a problem with doing it on the other side? Oh, I hate cleaning off thermal compound. This is like the worst. And doing it inside of a build. Ugh. This is for sure going to be one of those builds. Like, this is a build where, like, right now I'm like, oh, this sucks so much. But it's for sure going to be a build where I'm going to be like, I'm going to look at it every day and I'm going to be like, yeah, man, that was a cool build. Like, you know what I mean? Well, at least I don't have to worry about using substandard thermal paste. No pros and cons. Ha! 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 I think it's hilarious. As long as you don't think about it very hard for very long. Oh. What are you gonna do? They do give you like a little spatula. In the other case, I got to like spread it around super evenly, but it's gonna be fine. Oh, maybe we like kinked them differently this time. By the way, they didn't make RGB-less RAM, but I definitely would have gotten that. Some airflow in there, I guess. I don't know. Yeah! I mean, that is like... barely... Close might only count in horseshoes and hand grenades. Well, at least we got Thermal Grizzly instead of EK's paste, so I guess that's like 1 to 2 degree difference. I think we're gonna get this to post before I have to go do dinner. Alright, we just clicked this in. Now we're going to apply each of these connectors. I hate these like 6+2s. I understand why they exist. I do. They just, oh, come on, man. Drive me knuckin' futz. Okay, 1 down. So MSI's like, yeah, I bet you wish you would have bought our PSU, the only one with a 5-volt PCIe 5 12-volt high power native connector available on the market right now, huh? There it goes. All right. Okay, well, part of me, before we button it all up, although I have no idea how we're going to do that. I don't know how you could fit all this in there. I don't think that would work. I think we're gonna have to wait for my cable mod cables. I don't think that's possible. Like, I could pull some up here. And I could pull another one up here. Push all of these in. You are supposed to be able to fit an SSD up in there, but that ain't happening here, folks. What's on the top? Oh no! No, I knew I would do this. I knew this would happen. Shit. Ah. Don't you dare give me problems or we're gonna have a talk. Okay. Nope, we're good. Okay. Still works with the AIO tubes. We just forgot to plug it in. I would have like turned it on and been like, no, it's not posting. I broke something. Oh shit. I actually have some more room on this side, so it might actually be helpful to do the bottom plate from this angle instead. There we go. Oh, okay. Well, there's non-zero chance that doesn't post, but we can work through that. I think we might have accidentally flipped the power switch. That's the best guess I have. I have no idea how that happened, but it definitely did. Okay, that's on. So let's actually just do what I said since it looks like it was on. Experiences I've had. I wouldn't say like jobs because it's like I think I did pretty well, all things considered here. Just it's gonna pop off. Like so proud of myself. Such a short-lived victory. Okay. There it goes. Nailed it, baby. Nailed it. Thank you all for joining me today. This has been the most pain in the ass build I've ever done, but it worked out. We got it going, and I now have a giant mess on my hands. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are about to replace the PCIe 5.0 cables on our GPU. No judgment for me. This is just what worked for me. So, it is a disaster inside of here. We're going to try to fix that. Should be able to reduce significant amount of cable. Let's get this down. Show you all. I'm not getting access on the other side. The only stupid thing is that the clip is over here. Just like took off some of my fingernail. I don't like how that went off. That's like a funny little. Okay, stop. What is this thing? Functionality, so. Let's say we did. Did you hear the soft click? All pins have made contact. All right. Thank you all for joining me. I hope this fit the bill for whatever build you were thinking about doing or trying to replicate this exact build. Let me know down in the comments what it is that you're up to and what you'd like to see from me. Until next time, good luck out there. Have some fun. Keep on building. Bye for now.